Hello, coin collectors out there. This is Dylan from the Big D Coins channel, and I've got a great series of nickels to share with you today. We're going to look at the Liberty nickel, the Buffalo nickel, the Jefferson nickel, and end with the Wartime Jefferson nickel. And we're going to look for a new error that I learned about. It's not the double die error, it's the double I error, as in two I's that Jefferson has. So let's start off. Before we get to the errors, we're going to look at this one over here. This one right here is the Liberty nickel. If you had any guess as to what was on a coin, guessing Liberty is probably a pretty good guess. Let me get the lighting right for you there. This coin was made from 1883 to 1913. Its weight was 5 grams, diameter 21.2 millimeters. Unfortunately, no silver in it. It's a copper-nickel combination. So the one I have right here is dated 1904. And in 1904, there were 21 million of these made. There were also 1,000 proof coins. So what you're looking at, we're talking about this coin right here in the top left. On the obverse is the head of Liberty with 13 stars around the head, representing the first 13 colonies of the United States of America. Very interesting. On the back, there it is. We have the V. Some people call this the V nickel. It is a large V in the center, representing the Roman numeral 5 for 5 cents, with a wreath around the coin. So we've got that nickel right here. So after 1913, they transitioned to this coin right here. Trying to adjust the lighting for you. That's pretty good. This one right here is the Indian head nickel. Now this is also known as the Buffalo nickel. On the obverse, it's got a profile of an American Indian. On the reverse, an American bison or buffalo. Its metal content, unfortunately, not silver either. It's 75% copper, 25% nickel. It's got a weight of 5 grams. Flip it over right here. Here's a look at the reverse. All right, let's get into the special nickels. So this one right here, 1939. 1939 was the first year that 1938 was the first year that the Jefferson nickel was made. This one right here is 1939, so this would have been the second year that they were made. In 1939, there were 120 million made. So 1938 was technically the first year that they were made, but there were only 19 million made at the Philadelphia Mint that year. So 1939, the first real year they were really cranking them out. 120 made at the Philadelphia Mint, only 3 million made at the Denver Mint. And looky here, I have one from the Denver Mint. Pretty cool find right there. There were a lot of varieties with this one right here, as it was a transition year. Here we've got this nice series of 1940s. Now looking at the obverse, you might think these are all the same coin, but just wait and see what happens when I flip them over. So this one, 1940, flip it over at Denver Mint. Super cool. There were 43 million made at the Denver Mint for the 1940D. 1940, which mint is this one right here? S, sweet, San Francisco. In 1940, there were 39 million made at the San Francisco Mint. And any guesses on which one this one's from right here? No mint mark, indicating that it is from the Philadelphia Mint. In 1940, 176 million made at the old Philadelphia Mint. So I want to focus a little bit on this one right here. So for 1940 to 1943, there are some really neat double dies out there that are known as the double I. So we're going to focus in on this one right here, which is the 1940 Denver Mint. There were only 43 million of these made. So the double I, you kind of need a microscope to see it. So I'd recommend looking at pictures on just Googling the double I variety or double I error. So what the double I is it's doubling, as the name would entail. But there's an extra I on Jefferson, which is kind of cool, but kind of like creepy as well. So you can see the eyes right there. So a double eye error would just have another eye coming from the top right there, top eyelid, and then the bottom eyelid as well. So the double eye error, there are some other doubling on that coin, but you can only really see that with the extra fine, extra special mint condition coins. The double eye, you can see it on some of the coins that are even in a little more circulated condition. So look for the eye on the 1940 to 1943 Jefferson nickels, and then you can also look around the edge. I kind of check out all the edges for my older coins to look for doubling. But let's keep it rolling. I've got some other nickels to share with you right here. This one right here, it's got some red toning to it. This is 1941. Now, you've heard of pennies that have the Mint State red designation to them. Unfortunately, nickels aren't supposed to have red on them. I think this is just someone painted it. It looks like they must have painted the whole thing, and then the high points have worn off. So a nice looking coin right here, 1940. Flip it over, 1941, San Francisco Mint. You can see someone decided to paint the reverse as well. Hey, at least they're consistent. So this coin right here, 1942. This is also a pre-wartime nickel, also known as a normal nickel. We flip it over. Wonder what mint this is. No mint. Looks like we've got a little bit of damage to the rim right there. And we've got some other damage kind of floating around the coin. Unfortunately, I'm guessing this is all post-mint damage and not damage from the mint. But, you know, oh well. And this coin right here, this is a 1943. If you're experienced with coin collecting and are just kind of getting into it, you might already know why this one right here is special. This is what's known as the Wartime Nickel. This one is the only one in the video so far that actually has silver in it. It's 35% silver, 56% copper, 9% manganese. Excuse me. It's worth about $1 alone in its silver value, and it can be worth probably this one right here, $3 to $4. You could sell it on eBay, which is quite the return on investment when you consider it's just a nickel. It's just 5 cents. So we've got the mint mark at the top right there, just your standard P for Philadelphia. All of the mints that were made for wartime nickels, which were made from 42 to 45, have the really big mint mark at the top. Oh, and I should also say, not all 42 nickels are one or the other. I showed you a 42 nickel earlier that was considered a quote-unquote wartime nickel. That 42 nickel that I showed you, this one right here, this was just your standard nickel. So in 42, there will be some regular nickels and some wartime nickels. So keep an eye out for 42. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I shared with you some of the 39 through early 40s quarters. We talked about the double eye error. At the beginning, you got a glimpse of the Liberty Head V nickel, and you also saw one of my few Buffalo nickels. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you're into coin collecting, please do like, comment, subscribe. Check out some of the other videos on my channel. Take care, everyone. Hopefully you have a great day. Enjoy.